If he says one more word, just one more, I shall have him.
Who's that, Rigsby?
Hillary. Who do you think?
I don't know what you've got against him. I find him very stimulating.
Oh, you would. You've liked him ever since he admired your earrings.
No, it's not that. I just think we've got a lot in common.
Yes, the same crippling fear of manual labour. What I want to know is when's he going to get a job?
He's resting.
Yes, I can see that. I'm not blind. What I want to know is why he can't wait until nightfall like the rest of us. Why does he have to lounge around the house all day?
No, resting is a show business term for being out of work.
Show business? You don't believe all that rubbish. He's not in show business. What's he ever done? Go on, you tell me.
Well, he's done a lot of things.
Such as?
Well, you'd be surprised.
Go on then, surprise me.
He was very nearly no Calcutta.
Oh, yeah. What happened? Didn't he measure up?
He sprained his ankle.
From what I've heard, it's not the only thing he's sprained. Anyway, I've never seen him in anything.
He was in Aunt Claudius.
Was he? I watched that. I don't remember seeing him.
Well, it was only a small part.
Yeah, it must have been.
No, he was in the orgy scene, ran round squeezing his grapes over everybody.
Is that all he's done? Squeezed a few grapes? No wonder he's resting. The effort must have been too much for him. Anyway, I still don't remember seeing him in it.
Well, you wouldn't have done. He was wearing a stag's head.
There you are. You see, he's all talk. You're so gullible.
No, look, he's great. I mean, he read some poetry to us last night. We all sat round on the floor, spellbound. The best night I've had. Finished up with Muzaka. A Muzaka. You don't know where it is, do you?
Of course, I know what it is.
It's Greek.
Yes, I know it's Greek. You'll join hands and dance round in a circle.
It's a Greek dish, Rigsby.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. He's got some very fancy ways, if you ask me. He's too fond of that striped apron for my liking. Why doesn't he go out and look for a job?
Well, he's not wasting his time. He's written a play.
Right, he couldn't write a play. It's all he can do to leave a note for the milkman.
Well, he's written one, and it's very good.
Oh, yeah, what's it about?
Well, it's a psychological drama full of symbolism and imagery, played out against the backcloth of a dingy boarding house and dealing with contemporary themes.
Oh, my God. Sounds like another play for today.
That's very good. It deals with exploitation, the declining quality of life, the underlying violence in modern society.
Violence? What's he know about violence? He's only got to break a nail he takes to his bed for the rest of the day.
No, I'm talking to you, Rigsby. You just don't like him. I don't know why.
Well, for one thing, he calls me Ducky. That's why. If he calls me Ducky once more, I shall have him.
Hello, Ducky. Have I interrupted?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you are, Hillary.
Oh, I like your cardi. It's very you, Rigsby, very hungry 30s. You must let me have the name of your tailor.
Do you mind? We happen to be having a private conversation.
Well, I won't keep you. A word in your shell, like Alan. Look, could we make it later tonight? Only this evening's been a complete disaster. My souffle's collapsed. It's just lying there, staring up at me like a creature from the Black Lagoon.
Your own fault. That cooker was never designed for souffles. Why don't you stick to fish fingers like the rest of us?
It was my agent's fault. He kept me on the phone for hours, some tatty review. They want me to take my clothes off again. Full frontal's the last.
Well, you wouldn't catch me taking my clothes off, I'll tell you.
You wait until you're asked, cheeky.
I think he's got a nerve, asking you to do that with all your talent.
Well, of course, I refused. I told him, over my dead body. I'm not going through that again. I remember the cat calls the last time. Where were you when they were handed out? They kept shouting. Well, I mean, it leaves a scar.
So now did you get a splinter of your carte blanche, then?
I mean, a mental scar. I've kept my bathroom door locked ever since.
Well, you've no need to worry, Hillary. Read the play. It's terrific.
Do you really mean that, Alan?
Yeah, of course I mean it. I particularly like the muscular way you dealt with the contemporary themes, the underlying passions, the depravity of urban life.
Hardly goes with his chintz curtains, though, does it?
Oh, I'm so pleased, Alan. Look, do you think that you could make it later tonight?
Oh, yeah, suits me. Just wash my hair. Can't do a thing with it.
Don't do a lot with the sink now, either.
Well, I think it improves it. It gives it more body, and I like the way it cascades. Don't you like the way it cascades, Rigsby?
No, I don't. This place gets more like a lady's hairdresser's every day.
Don't take any notice of him. He was the first man to discover short back and sides.
Oh, yeah, so what is wrong with short back and sides?
Nothing, Rigsby. It's just that the I was a prisoner on Devil's Island look doesn't suit everyone. See you later.
What's it going to be this evening, then? Verse reading or home perms?
Neither. We're going to read my play. Alan has graciously agreed to play the lead.
You what?
See you later, Hillary.
You're not serious.
Yeah, this could be my big chance.
You can't act. You can't even speak properly.
It don't matter. Hillary says I've got this basic virility.
Virility? You've got about as much fidelity as a wooden rocking horse.
I knew you'd put the dampers on it, Brixby. This is my big chance, and I'm going to take it, and no one's going to stop me.
All right, off you go.
What's the matter with Alan?
Oh, nothing, just the usual. Yes, it happens every so often. He gets this yearning for culture, burns all his pin-ups and starts playing classical records. It won't last long. He'll soon be down at my door knocking to see Tom and Jerry.
The trouble with you is, Bixby, as soon as you hear the word culture, you reach for your revolver. What's wrong with a cultural evening once in a while?
Oh, listen who's talking. Before you came here, your idea of a cultural evening was running around with someone's head on a pole.
And what's your idea of a cultural evening? Throwing beer cans at the cat?
Did you know he's going to act in Hillary's play?
Why not? It'll be good for him.
No, it won't. I know these modern plays are depressing. They spend all evening drinking mess and jumping on the baby.
It's not quite like that. It's more of a love story.
So you mean there's a woman in it, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is there any...
Oh, yes.
Does he actually get to...
He never stops. It's a stormy affair played out in a garret with lots of searing kisses.
Oh, the crafty little sodom, I don't know. That makes me worried about him. Lots of searing kisses, eh?
Searing kisses all through the text. One passionate love scene after another.
They'll probably have blokes in asbestos suits waiting to pull them apart, eh?
And then there are always a few private rehearsals.
Yes, there's the rehearsals, aren't there? Yes, yes, that crafty. I bet she's nice, too.
Who?
The woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that crafty. I bet he picked her out himself. I wonder who it is.
Didn't they tell you? Miss Jones.
Yet?
Oh, almost.
Well, what do you think of it? I want you to be brutally honest. Oh, it's all crumpled.
Well, I just couldn't put it down, Hilary.
What's this? It's a dead fly. Someone's been swatting flies with it.
No, it's probably a currant. I couldn't put it down, even at meal times.
Oh, do you really mean that?
Oh, of course I do, silly.
Does that mean that you're going to do it?
Well, I don't know, Hilary. I'm not an actress.
Oh, nonsense. You'd make a marvellous Maggie.
Yes, but she keeps attacking people with a bread knife.
Well, haven't you ever felt like attacking someone with a bread knife?
Yes, but I've always fought the impulse, Hilary.
Yes, but you must remember that she's been driven mad by drink and she's consumed with this overriding passion for Slim. You could do it, Ruth. I've been watching you.
Have you, Hilary?
Yes. On the surface, cool and aloof, but underneath, a seething cauldron of emotion capable of great passion.
You're not the first person to have noticed that, Hilary.
There you are, you see, and you're an instinctive actress. I mean, your walk, for example. How did you learn to walk like that?
I don't know. I just sort of put one foot in front of the other.
But you must have had acting experience.
Well, I was in an Agatha Christie once.
Ah, I knew it.
Yes, it was quite a challenge, really. I was strangled in the first scene. I had to lie there for hours with people stepping over me. I wouldn't have minded, but this small boy in the audience kept poking me with a stick to see if I was alive.
That must have required a great deal of control.
Yes, it did. I received considerable praise. The local paper said, "We have to go a long way to find anyone deader than Miss Jones."
There you are, you see. I knew you could do it.
Well, since you have such faith in me, Hilary, how can I refuse?
Oh, splendid. You'll never guess who's going to play opposite you.
I think I can. Someone exciting and dynamic.
How did you guess?
Just call it female intuition.
I think he's going to make a real name for himself one day.
He certainly has done with me.
He has this virile quality.
Yes, I know. When do we start?
When he comes down.
Pardon?
Well, he's just washed his hair.
Who?
Why, Alan, of course.
Alan?
Oh, Alan, you must do it with more feeling. And Ruth, when you attack him with a bread knife, look as if you mean it.
Oh,
Right.
sorry.
Now, once again, from the top.
Oh, my God. I can't go on. Life's a hollow sham, a lousy hollow sham.
No, it's not, Maggie. It's a lousy cage. We're prisoners in a lousy cage. This room's a lousy cage. This house is a lousy cage. Life's a lousy cage.
It's not a lousy cage, Slim. It's a hollow sham, a lousy hollow sham.
It's no good. I must have a fix. Where did you put my syringe?
Don't get mad, Slim. I put it down the loo.
Why, you no-good tramp? I thought so. You've been on the gin again.
Take your hands off... Oh. Take your hands off me, you big ape, or I'll carve you up like sliced bread. Hilary, are you sure this is supposed to be a tender love scene?
Of course! Just let it develop.
Oh, take your hands off me, you big ape, or I'll carve you up like sliced bread.
We'll see about that.
Hey, it's sharp.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, come on, you're doing splendidly. Mind, we're rehearsing.
Sorry, Hilary, it was Miss Jones. She was so convincing.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Rigsby.
Can we get on?
Yes, I'm sorry, Hilary. Don't let me interrupt. Please, carry on.
Now, what was the next line?
I'm not doing it in front of him.
Alan, you must get used to playing in front of an audience. We had to stop for the window cleaner yesterday. He'll laugh.
No,
No, can we get on? Now, Ruth, you're suddenly consumed with this burning passion for Alan.
Is this a comedy?
No.
Oh, Slim.
Oh, Slim.
There you are. Look, I told you.
You can't call him Slim unless you're going to do it in whalebone. And unless you want a few laughs you didn't bargain for, you'd have to call him something else.
No? What do you suggest?
Well, how about Podge?
His name's Slim. Now, will you please stop interrupting?
Sorry, Hilary.
Ruth.
Oh, Slim, that kiss has opened the floodgates. My whole being's yearning for you.
You little fool. I love you madly, passionately, devotedly.
Oh, Slim, quench this fire that's burning within me.
I'm going to take you away from all this, away from this miserable hovel. We'll start a new life.
Yes, we'll get that white-walled cottage with the roses twining around the door.
Maggie, look, is he going to eat them kisses all night?
Rigsby! Sorry, Hilary. Nearly finished.
Maggie, I'm going to kiss you like you've never been kissed before.
Oh, God, this should be interesting. Oh, could you call that a kiss? Well, what's wrong with it? You're supposed to be kissing and not licking an envelope.
Well, that does it. I'm not rehearsing with him here.
Mr. Rigsby, now you've upset him. He'll get it all right with practice.
Ruth! There. Now, see what you've done? You've reduced my rehearsals to a shambles.
Sorry, Hilary, but really, I think you're backing a loser. There's a wrong temperament. You need someone with a bit of poise and experience. And, of course, the classic profile.
Who do you suggest?
You're looking at him.
You, Rigsby.
I've always had this strange power over an audience, even when I was a kid. Yes, at school, I was picked for the nativity play every year without fail.
What part did you play?
Well, Herod, actually, but I don't have a lot since. It's in the blood, you know, smell of the grease paint, roar of the crowd, yes. During the war, I used to do a marvellous hunchback of Notre Dame. No makeup, just a cushion on my back, yeah? Used to frighten the lads after death.
Yes, I can imagine.
Used to do this eye gouging scene with a couple of black grapes. That sent a shiver through the hood, I can tell you.
Yes, all right, Ducky, we'll
Used
let
to
you
do
know.
marvellous Long John Silver. Bah, Sir Jim, you come along with me. Now then, funny, you dirty fool, what you don't know what you're doing. There's a little yellow iron for the north of Kathmandu, and a broken marble cross below the top. And a broken-hearted widow.
Don't ring up your lucky real.
It was known as Mad Cruel to the sons of Kathmandu. Here now. Oh, you're going through with it then?
Of course.
Well, I wouldn't if I were you. Not the way things are going.
Oh, yeah, how do you mean the way things are going?
Hilary. Has she noticed anything odd about him?
No?
Nothing unusual in his manner?
Well, it's a bit theatrical.
Yes, you could put it that way, yes, yes. Well, they're all the same, aren't they? I mean, bound to, you know, putting on makeup and wigs every night. Bound to send them funny, eh?
What do you mean funny?
He's one of them.
What?
He's one of them.
One of them what?
God, you're lying, but you didn't your parents ever tell you about taking sweets from strangers?
Well, they didn't have to. Nobody ever offered me anything.
surely you've been approached by some kindly stranger offering to show you his Hornby train set. Well, I don't have to break this to you, Alan, but Hillary is not as other men.
What do you mean he's queer?
Yes, keep your Didn't it occur to you?
No, but I don't think it's really important.
Of course it's important. In my day, it meant prison.
In the more enlightened times, Rigsby, Parliament's made it legal.
Yeah, not surprised with that lot. We're lucky they didn't make it compulsory.
I feel sorry for you, Rigsby. I mean, you're so reactionary. I'm glad I'm not like that.
So am I, because it's not me he's after. You know who it is, don't you? Oh, you. What? Only to get your hair cut.
Hey, Rigsby, how do you know?
Oh, I know the signs. Made a sort it happen too often in the desert. Oh, yes. Nothing but sand and flies for miles, never a woman. Oh, yes. You had to be careful who you shared a foxhole with in those days, you know. Especially the ones who said it was Nick cold. Let's all huddle up together. Wasn't only the Africa corps you had to watch out for then, mate. Mind you, you never went to sleep at your post.
Hey, Rigsby, what am I going to do?
Only one thing you can do, keep your hand on your apron.
What's the matter, Alan? You look stunned.
Rigsby's just told me something terrible.
What's that?
Can't bring myself to say it.
Well, I think you'd better. You look about to burst.
He's just told me Hillary's that way. About me.
Is that all?
What do you mean is that all? How do you think I feel?
Thought you were broad-minded.
Well, not that broad-minded. I don't know what to do. Has this ever happened to you?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Never happened to me.
No. Well, you've got to be good-looking.
Oh, when I say never, I mean not recently, you know. What am I going to do about it?
Just don't encourage him. You haven't been encouraging him, have you?
No, certainly not. I suppose you think we're decadent.
Oh, no. We have them out in Africa as well. You can usually tell them. Always a bit heavy on the warping.
What am I going to do?
Well, get rid of the April violets, and whatever you do, remember, don't flutter your eyelashes.
Sorry, am I interrupting? I just wanted to have a word with Alan.
Oh, that's all right. I was just going.
No, Philip.
No. You two want to be alone?
I hope you don't mind, Alan, but I think that we ought to have an extra rehearsal tonight.
Well, I'm not sure about that, Hillary. You know, having a squash with some of the chaps from college.
Oh, I didn't know you played squash.
Oh, yes, like to keep fit. Run before breakfast, run back, cold shower, rub down with surgical spirits. Helps keep me in trim. Oh, that reminds me, got to get my hair cut.
Oh, no. Not your hair, that's your crowning glory, Alan.
Bit of a nuisance in the scrum.
You mean to say you play rugger as well?
Oh, yes, makes a man of you.
But what about rehearsals?
Oh, well, I've been thinking about that, Hillary, and I don't think this acting really is my cup of tea. I don't really think I'm cut out for it. I'd prefer to see a good stripper any day.
Oh, Slim. Life's a sham, a lousy sham. Get out! I never want to see you.
We're talking to so I hear Alan has dropped out, Miss Jones.
Yes, Mr. Rigsby, but never mind. The show must go on.
Absolutely. Fortunately, there's someone ready to step into the breach at a moment's notice.
That's true.
Someone with excellent good looks, virility, and, of course, a great deal of personal charm.
Oh, I do agree.
Yes, I thought you get my drift, Miss Jones. The part might well have been written for me.
You? I was talking about Hillary.
Hillary? Oh, no, he couldn't play the part, Miss Jones. I mean, where's his virility? Where's his inner violence? Oh, no. He nearly ruptured himself putting up his chintz curtain.
But he's an actor. Surely he can play any part.
Yes, but he is an actor with a problem, Miss Jones.
What do you mean, Mr. Rigsby?
Oh, nature's played a cruel joke on that man, Miss Jones.
You don't mean?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Yes. Not his fault, of course, an imbalance of chromosomes, yes. But Hillary is not as other men.
Are you sure, Mr. Rigsby?
Absolutely. You'd be wasting your time there, Miss Jones, yes. Like an empty slot machine. You put your money in, nothing comes out. Not even if you kick it.
Oh, I can't believe it. He's so...
Exactly, that's my point, yes. Surely you've noticed, Miss Jones, his foppish man with a slack wrist. Oh, you should have heard him the other night. Oh, Ducky, the evening's been an absolute disaster. My souffle's comes out, staring up at me like a creature from the Black Lagoon. In fact, Hi, Hilary. Must be getting along then if you just excuse me. You see what I mean? Oh, Hilary, Miss Jones said you wanted to have a word with me about something.
Yes, Rigsby, it's about your impersonation of me last night.
Yes, I'm sorry about that, Hilary. I hope you didn't mind. It was a bit embarrassing. It was just the actor in me coming out.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was rather impressed. I'm thinking of offering you the part of Slim.
No, there you are. But yes, I knew you'd come round to my way. You see, I've got it, haven't I? The good looks, the virility, the silver tongue, yes. I think you might even subconsciously have based the part on me.
Yes, well, you're a little old, but it might just work.
Yes, of course. Should have fetched Miss Jones.
No, it won't be necessary. I'll take her part. Now, why don't you come and sit down here next to me and let me hear you read.
Right, fine. Where should we start then?
Page 90 from the top.
Page 90, right?
Oh, what strong, sensitive hands you've got. You might be just the man for me. Oh, Slim, that kiss has opened the floodgates. My whole being's yearning for you.
No, you... You little fool! I love you madly and passionately.
Oh, Slim, quench this fire that's burning within me.
I'm going to take you away from this miserable hovel, and we will start a new life.
Yes. We'll get a white-walled cottage with roses entwined around the door. Well, go on, Rigsby.
Maggie, I'm going to kiss you as you've never been kissed. No good, Hilary, I just haven't got it, have I?
I thought you were doing rather well.
No, it's no use being kind, Hilary. No, the old magic's gone. No, I couldn't play a romantic lead. Not with my feet, trench foot. Just no good apart that. You'll have to get someone else, I'm afraid.
Oh, Slim, that kiss has opened the floodgates. My whole being's yearning for you.
You little fool. I love you madly.
You'll never guess what's happened. Hilary's playing the part himself. He's rehearsing Miss Jones in a big love scene. Where are we going?
Away from this miserable hovel into... Rigsby, do you mind? We're rehearsing.
Oh, yes, I know, Hilary. I'm sorry. We just wanted to see a real professional at work.
Oh. Yes, all right. All right, Miss Jones, once again.
Yes, I'll try and get it right this time, Hilary.
Oh, you little fool. I love you madly, devotedly, passionately.
Oh, Slim, quench this fire that's burning within me.
Maggie, I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to kiss you in a way that you've never been kissed before.
Are you sure you're right about him, Rigsby?
I think she's kissing with her mouth open.
Now, I get up and go over to the window. And Ruth? I'm all right, Ruth.
Do you think we could do that again?
You little fool.
No, just a kiss.
Never mind, Rigsby's only acting.
He's not acting. He's not one of them. He's one of us.
What are you going to do? What am I going to do? I'll have my hair cut.
Oh, Ruth. Oh, Miss Jones.
word, Mr. Rigsby?
Certainly, Miss Jones, of course, yes. What is it?
It's about the new girl.
Oh, yes, you mean Madeline.
Yes. I see it hasn't taken you long to get on first-name terms, Mr. Rigsby.
You know me, Miss Jones. I like to be intimate with try to get on good terms with all of my tenants.
Yes, so I've noticed, Mr. Rigsby. Is that why you've cleaned her windows 3 times this week?
Well, they were rather grimy, Miss Jones.
You mean you couldn't see through them properly?
Yes, yes. No.
No, don't protest, Mr. Rigsby. I saw you when you were pruning the apple tree, leering in at her.
Oh, no, Miss Jones, I wasn't leering in.
Oh, yes, of course you were. You fell out of the tree twice.
Just giving her a friendly wave, Miss Jones.
Yes, you've gone out of your way to be friendly. Is that why you cleaned the inside of her windows as well? Surely that's not normal practice.
Well, she had just arrived, Miss Jones. You know what that room was like. She was in a state.
She was also in a negligee, Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, is that what it was? Yes, I thought it had a lot of lace, yes. Yes, my trouble is I've no idea of fashion, Miss Jones.
Well, I'm not surprised you're confused, Mr. Rigsby. She certainly wears it a great deal. She came downstairs in it just now, in the middle of the morning. I thought there'd been a fire. I was shocked, Mr. Rigsby. I don't think it's quite the thing. Not with young and impressionable minds in the house. They could be led astray by a woman like that.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Miss Jones. Not those two, no. You haven't seen their calendar, have you? Oh, disgraceful. Yes, they don't go in for views of the Cotswold and the blacksmith working at his forge. Oh, no. It's all intimate studies of the female form with them. Yes. I thought the summer months were bad enough, but September's coming in with... I was just thumbing through, Miss Jones. Frankly, I was appalled. No, if it's young, impressionable minds you're looking for, you'd be better off down the YMCA. There's nothing to worry about round here.
Yes, but I do worry, Mr. Rigsby. Where's it all going to end? She went topless in the garden last Sunday. That sort of thing gives the house a bad name.
Oh, topless? No, I didn't know that.
That surprises me, Mr. Rigsby, considering how close you were getting to her with the lawnmower. I don't think you're taking the situation at all seriously,
No,
Mr. Rigsby. The moral climate of this house has definitely taken a turn for the worst. And I've got the curate coming this evening. We're rehearsing for the concert. He'll begin to wonder if I'm a fit person to ascend the stage of a church hall. After all, birds of a feather, Mr. Rigsby.
Yes. The birds of a feather, Miss. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Don't you, Mr. Rigsby? Tell me, have you been able to discover what she does for a living yet?
No, she's been rather reticent on that point.
I see. And do you know why she's so secretive about her work? Unless it's something she's ashamed of. Something that sets her apart from decent, respectable people.
You don't think she's from the tax office, Miss Jones?
No, I don't, Mr. Rigsby. They don't wear negligees and paint their toenails to administer Schedule D.
No, that's true.
And why does she sleep most of the day and stay out most of the night?
Oh, Miss Jones, you're not suggesting she's a loose woman.
Loose? If she got any looser, she'd fall apart.
Well, you leave it to me, Miss Jones. I'll certainly have a word with her.
Very well, Mr. Rigsby. Only the last time you had a word, you were in there for 3 hours. And then you had to go back for your jacket.
Wash that man right out of my head. I'm gonna wash that right out of my head. Gonna wash that. Yeah, and where do you think you're going?
Just taking a newspaper down to Marilyn.
No, you're not. I want you to keep well away from her.
Why?
Because I said so, that's why.
Look, that's not a reason. As soon as we get an attractive woman in the house, you start walking around like a head eunuch.
It's for your own good. You be at your depth with a woman like that. You don't want to start the nosebleeds again, do you?
I want to look after myself.
No, it's not just a question of that. I've had complaints. Miss Jones thinks she's, I think she's a fallen woman.
A fallen woman?
Yes.
Well, what were you doing in her room last night? Trying to pick her up? Now, look, just because somebody's a bit heavy on the eyeshadow doesn't mean they're a fallen woman.
No, it's not just that, but Miss Jones has got the curate coming round tonight. What's he going to say?
Well, I thought he was supposed to save fallen women.
Yes, well, he is.
Well, ask him to save one for you. This one's mine. Look, you're only jealous because she fancies me.
No, it's not you she fancies, mate. Your mummy.
What, you don't mean she's
Yes.
Oh, I think that kind of thing's degrading. I mean, not for the woman.
No.
It's for the man who
Yes.
stoops to it.
Lowest of the low.
Contemptible.
Absolutely. What are you staring at?
Have you ever,
Certainly not. Man in my position, a respectable pillar of the community, man.
I'm sorry, Rigsby.
But you should think so. I can honestly say with my hand on my heart, I have never been tempted in that direction. Not for years.
What about the war?
Ah, that was different, wasn't it? Yeah, that was in France. Yes, I was just a young man then. No more than a boy, really. Far from home. Outside, the tramp of marching feet, the sound of gunfire, and inside me, poised on the threshold of a new experience.
What was it like?
I'll tell you what it was like. The Germans scored a direct hit on the bedroom. That's what it was like.
What, you mean you never...
No, I never. No, the lights went out, the roof fell in. I thought, if this is sex, they can stuff it. I never stopped running till I got to Dunkirk.
What are you going to do about the marriage?
What can I do? Can't afford a breath of scandal with the curate coming? Nope, she's got to go.
Oh, look, do you have to, Rigsby?
Oh, well, don't take it to heart. Take up something else. Try brass rubbing.
I thought you were supposed to be seeing Marilyn.
Changed my mind.
Why?
I'm reading the paper.
Anything interesting?
Woman lost her head in the supermarket.
What a country. They'd lift anything. What's the matter? Why aren't you going down?
So I've got principles. I'm not paying for the pleasure of her company.
Who said she was like that?
Well, it's obvious I wasn't born yesterday. All that negligee and painted toenails, way she's been chasing me.
Well, she's not going to make a fortune out of you. Not with what you have in the piggy bank.
She certainly is not.
Your trouble is you're too suspicious. You always think women are after your money.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Look how you were with those girls we met the other night, just because they had arrows on their stockings.
Well, that's a sign, that is. Arrows on the stockings. It's like split skirts and plastic macs.
That's why you keep your small change in your sock.
No, just being careful.
Your trouble is you're mean.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I just like a woman to like me for what I am, not what I've got.
Well, I can understand that. But we have a saying in my country. He who seeks the bird of paradise must put down a little seed. Now, why don't you pop down and see? I'll hold your wallet.
Yeah, supposing Rigsby's right about it.
Rigsby, I should have known. I wouldn't listen to him. He's only jealous.
Yeah, but supposing he's right.
Well, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Probably just what you need. I know it helped a friend of mine.
Is it?
Never regretted it. He had this strange fixation.
Well, I ain't got any strange What was it?
It was something to do with the sea. He'd arrive at her flat in oilskins.
Oilskins?
He'd put on waders and a sou'wester and ask her to make the sound of a howling gale. She stood on a chair and threw buckets of water at her.
Well, what happened then?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, what would you expect in weather like that?
Oh, Marilyn, could I have a word, love?
Certainly, big boy. What is it?
Well, it's a bit delicate.
It usually is.
No, I've had complaints.
Complaints? What sort of complaints?
Well, regarding your occupation.
I see. You've found out then.
Well, let's just say the pieces have fallen into place, shall we, Madeline?
And you want me to go?
Yes, I'm afraid. I am the landlord, love. I am responsible for the moral climate around here.
Well, why don't you go?
I'm not blaming you, Madeline. I mean, you're a nice girl, I can see that. But, I mean, rules are rules.
And do you object to my dancing?
Yes, I'm You dance? Oh, you're a dancer?
Well, I don't suppose you consider it dancing, but I do. It's very artistic. I suppose if I was with the Royal Ballet, that would be all right. But just because I'm an erotic dancer...
Oh, an erotic dance? I'm sorry, we all thought you were on the game.
I could have been classical. I had the talent. I just grew too much.
Yes, I can see that, yes. But, perhaps I've been a bit hasty then.
You mean I could stay?
Yes, well, let's give it a try, shall we?
Oh, you're more understanding than my last landlord. He turned me out. Of course, he objected to my partner.
Your partner?
Yeah, Charlie. You want to see him?
Charlie? My God! It's a snake!
You've been touching me.
It's got over me!
He's just extracting warmth from your body.
I think he's wasting his time, though.
That's why he's sluggish. It's too cold for him, really. You have to poke him.
No, don't bother, no. No, it seems a pity to disturb him. He looks so peaceful.
He's beautifully marked, isn't he?
Yes, it's a particularly like the zigzags.
Oh, you really like him?
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, I think he can sense it. The other landlord didn't like him. That's why Charlie kept dropping on him from the lampshade. He was always in trouble. He crept next door and swallowed 2 of their garden gnomes. It's amazing what they can cram in.
Yes, right, well, I must be dashing, Madeline. If Charlie doesn't mind, that is.
Oh, no, he's taken to you.
Is he? Bye, Matt. Bye, Charlie. Hey, where do you think you're going?
I'm going to see Marilyn. I've changed my mind. No, look, Risby, no. No matter what you say, I've decided not to take a moral attitude. Life's too short.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, go on, go ahead.
But you don't mind?
No, I think it'll prove a very stimulating experience. You haven't recovered yet, then?
No, I haven't.
You should have seen your face when you came out of that room. Talk about blind terror. I haven't seen panic like that since 12 was trying to get in the same life jacket at Dunkirk.
It was horrible. It was all coiled and ready to spring. That's what they do, you know.
Yeah.
They hypnotise their prey, then they swallow it.
Well, he couldn't have swallowed you, not with those feet. He's really got you going, hasn't he? You're really terrified, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You think he's lurking everywhere. You ran away from the garden hose this afternoon.
Oh, just you wait. You'll pick up that hose pipe one day and turn around and stare at you.
Well, at least they won't panic anyway. And do you know why? Because animals respect me. Oh, yes, I've always had this influence. Sort of calming effect on them, yes. Yes, do you remember that Alsatian who got hold of Miss Jones's joint? Eh? Well, who was the one who approached him, uttered a few soothing words and took it from him? Eh?
You did?
Yes, well, there you are, then.
Well, it still bit you.
I calmed him down in the end, didn't I?
Only after you'd hit it over the head with a broom handle.
All right.
I've just seen the snake.
Oh,
I'd keep away from him if I were you.
right, what do you mean?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's Fawcetts python.
He's well, huh?
Fawcetts python.
Well, we should take it back.
No, he means Fawcett was the first to find it, don't you?
Well, not exactly, Rigsby. Actually, it found Fawcett. Fawcett was never seen again, except for his boots. Of course, they grow much larger than that. That's a young one.
I told you, Rigsby.
Well, you mean they're really dangerous?
Oh, yes. When grown, they've been known to leap out of the bush and attack a horse and cart.
You sure it's a Fawcett's python?
Well, as sure as I can be. Of course, there's only one way to identify a Fawcett's python.
How's that?
From a great distance.
Very funny.
I remember in the old days, we presented one to the district commissioner. He was delighted with it until it ate the spaniels.
I'll have to keep an eye on Vienna then, won't I? He might end up as a bulge in his stomach.
And of course, if they bite you, you're dead in quarter of an hour.
Oh, you've got to get rid of it,
No,
Rigsby.
I'm not having him wandering around. Loose as Miss Jones to consider.
Hey, you don't think it'd eat Miss Jones, do you?
They'd eat anything.
And then there's the curate. Mind you, wouldn't care if you had to go at him. He's been hanging around here far too much just lately.
Well, it's a good thing you're good with animals, Riggs, because somebody's got to go down there and tell her it's got to go.
Don't worry, I'm not afraid, mate. I don't know the meaning of fear. Listen, I could have been one of the great white hunters. Which is more than I can say for him.
Hey, Rigsby, don't forget to tie some string round your ankles. You don't want it shooting up your trouser legs. Hey, how do you know it's a Fawcett python?
That's how I know. It's all right, it's quite dead.
Where'd you get it?
I brought it from Africa. Beautifully marked, isn't it? You don't see them very often. They're very difficult to stuff.
I'm not surprised. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, imagine that grabbing hold of you.
Oh, it's all right. It's not poisonous.
It's not?
No.
Well, what about all that stuff about being dead in 15 minutes and horse and carts and all that?
No, that was for Rigsby's benefit.
Can I borrow it?
Why?
I was thinking of stuffing it up the Great White Hunter's shirt front.
Madeline, now look, love. I hope Charlie's not going to take this personally, but he's got to go. It's not me, it's the tenants. They don't fancy Charlie knotting himself round their windpipes. Not even with the friendliest of intentions.
I knew it. You're all against him. I don't know why. He's just a big soft thing,
Yes, I know he's just a big soft thing. The trouble is he's going to get bigger, isn't he? When he carries on growing, we won't be able to get up the stairs without a machete. I'm sorry, but you'll just have to face it. He'd be happier in a zoo.
But what about the act?
Well, you'll have to get something else. What about a couple of ostrich feathers? Eh? Oh, fan-tailed doves. Now, they're supposed to be very effective.
No, it wouldn't be the same.
Yes, well, I know it wouldn't be the same, love, but you said yourself he feels the cold, and the winters here can be something cruel. If we have another one like last year, he's not going to let anyone near those radiators, is he? I'm sorry, you'll have to go, love. Now, don't cry. Now, don't say... Now, you'll upset Charlie.
It's too late. He's gone.
He's what? Go on.
I was playing with him in the garden and he just slithered off.
The garden! The garden, you stupid cow. What do you want to take him in the garden for? It's not as if you can throw sticks for him, is it?
I thought he'd like the exercise.
Well, he's got him plenty of that, isn't he? Well, you better get out and look for him, hadn't you?
Well, I have done, but he's probably miles away by now.
Oh, well, you better make sure. Hey, I don't want to worry, but that bloke next door's been clipping his edge. One false snip and Charlie won't know whether he's coming or going.
Well, Mr. Rigsby, have you seen her?
Yes, Miss Jones, I have, yes. And there's absolutely nothing to worry about. She's a dancer.
Oh, what sort of a dancer?
Well, not what you might call the classical school, more of the modern interpretive type of dancing, yes. What you might call glorification of the physical.
You mean she takes her clothes off?
Yes.
I see, Mr. Rigsby. Well, I hope you spoke to her severely. Remember, I have the curate coming this evening.
Oh, how could I forget, Miss Jones?
What do you mean, Mr. Rigsby?
Will he be singing again tonight?
Oh, yes. And I'll be accompanying him in his rendition of the Indian love lyrics.
Right. I must remember to put the cat out.
Are you suggesting that the curate's singing disturbs Vienna?
Well, he does become a little ruffled, Miss Jones. He tries to get behind the cooker.
The curate has a beautiful voice, Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, yes, I'm not saying he hasn't, Miss Jones. It's just the high notes, yes, when he sounds afflicted with the strangulated hernia.
I'm afraid there's something of the Philistine about you, Mr. Rigsby.
It's very nice of Miss Jones.
Well, don't you worry about the curate. Just you worry about Marilyn. I don't want anything to disturb his composure.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thank you, Mr. Rigsby.
You don't mind if...
Not at all. The curate has led a sheltered life. How do you think he'd react to a woman in a negligee?
Oh, no, I shouldn't worry about that, Miss Jones. After all, he has been trained to resist temptation. A bit of scourging and a couple of hours in his hair shirt to be as right as rain.
I'm glad you find it amusing, Mr. Rigsby, because I don't.
Oh, now, Miss Jones, I think you're taking the wrong attitude there. I think the curate himself might well deliver one of his blistering sermons on casting the first stone. After all, he has been the subject of malicious gossip himself.
What do you mean, Mr. Rigsby?
Well, I was thinking of that occasion he was seen at last tango in Paris without his dog collar and with an unknown lady.
Yes, well, never mind about that, Mr. Rigsby. Just remember what I said.
Yes, right, Miss Jones. Oh, hey, Vienna. Who'd be a landlord, eh? What are you playing with? Oh, what have you... You've always got something. What have you got now? Come on. Oh, my... Look down on your servant, Rigsby. Don't let him get me.
What's the matter, Rigsby?
Don't move. It's there.
What is?
That is...
Where's the snake?
Well, of course it's a snake. What do you think? It was a draft excluder. Now, look, I want you to be a very brave lad and walk out to the room backwards very slowly and fetch Madeline.
Nah, it's all right, Rigsby.
Careful, he'll have you.
What's the matter? Talk about great white hunters. They don't come any whiter than you, do they? It's not Marilyn's. This one's stuffed.
What do you mean it's a dummy?
Yeah.
What's he doing here?
Well, it's Phillips. I brought it down. Thought you might be interested. Cat must have got it. Take me behind the curtain. I didn't know you were going to panic.
What do you mean, panic? I was just putting a new light bulb in. Very lifelike, isn't it?
Yeah?
Hey, I was just thinking, Miss Jones has got the curate coming tonight.
He's not singing, is he?
Yes, no, but I was just thinking, if that was to get into her room, it might have very beneficial results.
What, you mean it might help him reach the high notes?
Yes, that's what I thought.
I'll see what I can do.
Right, good lad.
Come on, Bonzo.
Yes. He's well trained, isn't he?
Shall we run through it once more, Douglas?
Very well, Ruth, but please remember it is not a race to see who finishes first. We should try to breast the tape together, as it were.
Yes, of course, Douglas. May I say that I think you're singing beautifully?
Yes, I do seem in good voice, don't I?
I think you'll be devastating on the night.
Yes. Remember last year, Ruth? Oh, we had a profound effect on the old age pensioners. I swear there were tears in their eyes, Ruth.
Oh, they were obviously music lovers, Douglas. Some were so overcome with emotion that they had to leave the room.
It was very rewarding.
I think it's the best thing in your repertoire, Douglas.
Thank you, Ruth. Should we continue? Pale hands I loved beside the chalet mar. Where are you now, who lies beneath your spell? Whom do you lead on rapture's Rebecca? Is that you, Ruth?
Certainly not, Douglas.
I thought it was cracked.
I thought it was your breathing.
There is nothing wrong with my breath control, I can assure you. Shall we continue? Pale hands I love. What is the matter, Ruth?
It's a snake! Where's it gone?
I think it must be under the bed.
Oh, is anything wrong, Miss Jones, or do you normally rehearse like this?
Certainly not, Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, I thought that was the curate's way of getting a high note.
There's a snake, Mr. Rigsby.
A snake? Curate? Surely not. I'm sure he wouldn't attack a man at the cloth. Where is he?
Well, be careful, Mr. Rigsby.
He was coming for us.
Oh, well, obviously a music lover. Well, I wonder where he is. Oh, here he is down here. All right, Miss Jones, nothing to be... Oh, yes, nothing to worry about, Miss Jones. Oh, he's quite a lively little fellow, isn't he?
Take care,
It's
Mr.
all right, Miss Jones. You've just got to watch the fangs. It's all right. I had a lot of experience with these artists. Come on, down now. Get down, get down. What's going on? It's all right, nothing to worry about. I've got everything under control. He put up quite a struggle, mind you.
Rigsby,
Eh?
I think you've got the wrong one.
Oh, different. Oh, my God, it's got me. Oh, shit. It bit me.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course, I'm sure.
How do you feel, Mr. Rigsby?
I'm going numb. My eyes are glazing.
What shall we do?
Perhaps a prayer?
Do you mind?
What we've got to do is get a knife, open the wound, and suck out the poison. Now, where did he bite you, Rigsby?
Down here. Sorry, Miss Jones. Well, come on, one of you, quick.
I think we'd better call a doctor, Rigsby.
My God! You certainly find out who your friends are at times like this, don't you? Oh, my God, if he's bitten me, I've only got 10 minutes to live.
Have you found him? He was behind the curtain. Poor old Charlie. Have you been frightening him?
Frightened him, he's just bitten me.
Oh, that's probably just a friendly nip.
A friendly nip, he's poisoned me. I've only got 10 minutes to go.
7, actually.
Yes.
They've been having you on. He's not poisonous.
It's what?
No. To tell you the truth, if he's bitten you, I'm more worried for poor old Charlie.
Must be off, Rigsby.
I might have bloody well known it.